a discussion that I'm hearing going on all the time in global businesses that have English as a common language, which is what is the case for most organisations. When they're running assessment or development centres, should they run it in English because English is the global language, or should they run it in the local languages? Christine, from your experience of running lots of international development centres, what are your views on this?
Well, it's really an interesting question, because we as experts, we have to question ourselves, what are we measuring? Because our clients comes to us to have an advice, and this has to be based on real measurable things. And perhaps you know, but we do have an office in China, and for that reason we hired Chinese psychologists in order to be able to run assessment centers in their own language. And we still have the problem with other tests, with questionnaires and with intelligence tests. And there it stays a big, there are both sides. Okay, the companies we are working for, they say, okay, English is the main language in our company, so they have to realize that they have to express themselves in English. But the results you get then are much lower than if you do the same exercise in their own language. What for me, it's really logical. So, or you do it, you say, okay, we have to, and that's our policy, and then, okay, you get what you can get, but you cannot be sure and say, this is what's really the content. Or you do it in the opposite side, and you say, we look for partners who can give the same quality, the same level as what is expected from the client, and you do it in the local language of the candidate. And I think this option is a good one from the psychological side of our job, because then you can be sure that you measure what you have to measure, really on personality, really on the basic things, as we said earlier already, intelligence, learnability, and personality. And also the way how you give feedback. I can imagine that the way we do it in northern countries can be different, different from the southern countries and others.
But do you think there's a case if somebody is required, for example, to do a great deal of group work or negotiation internationally, that having that part of the assessment at least in English is a valid...
It can be an opportunity.
An option. Yes, it's very valid in that case.
But then you measure separately different things.
Different things,
You have behavior in group and negotiation skills in the language, in the international language. But beside that...
you do other things in the native language,